Ok, so Alex, bienvenido también de Barcelona. So welcome, bem-vindos, welcome to the event Funding Travel Tech Startups, Challenges and Opportunities Ahead, an event that is organized by the World Travel Tech Forum with the boosts from Startup Lisboa, of course, along with the other travel tech hubs from Barcelona, Cumbuco, Jerusalem, Johannesburg, and London. Today we are lucky enough because we have the travel tech ecosystem united together here in this digital room. Travel tech ecosystem very well represented. In a moment, of course, when we know that we have so many challenges ahead of us, but of course, I'm sure that we have the right people together here in this afternoon to find, to discuss, to create solutions, to give a boost to an industry that we are all passionate about. And when we talk about tourism, of course, we talk about being welcoming people. And to give us a warm welcome, I would like to invite to this digital stage the CEO of Startup Lisboa, Miguel Fontes.
Thank you, Francisco. Thank you so much. Boa tarde. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon to all of you. It's a pleasure to be here today. And as Francisco said, just give you a warm welcome. As you know, we are here in organizing a session on behalf of the World Travel Tech Forum. As you know, I assume that all of you know, this is an informal think tank with partners coming from different geographies. And as Francisco just mentioned, our main goal is to promote this travel sector and to help, namely, the startups and all the stakeholders that are part of this ecosystem to play a major role precisely to help the startups that are trying to solve new problems and to disrupt this industry with new products and new solutions. So let me start in saying that it's really a pleasure to have you all of you today here at Lisbon. Unfortunately, it's not really what we would love. That means to be with you physically and showing you our beautiful city. But we have the hope that we can do this sooner than later. And for sure, we'll have more opportunities. This is just the second event that we are promoting on behalf of the World Travel Tech Forum. And today, the session, which will be fully dedicated to this main topic, funding in travel tech. And so, just to conclude my short intervention in the beginning of the work, saying that it's really a pleasure to mention that Barcelona, Cumbuco, Jerusalem, Johannesburg, London, Paris, and Edinburgh, we are all together trying to create this right environment to think and to act about the travel tech. Welcome all of you, and Francisco, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Miguel. You never disappoint with your welcoming words. Thank you so much. You already know that the ecosystems are represented by different players. So we have investors, we may have universities, VCs. But since we are here for to know that the challenges that we have ahead of us, and also looking to listen and discuss solutions. We all love ideas as entrepreneurs. Everyone as an entrepreneur, we love ideas. So today we have the chance and we will start to listen to 5 startups that were invited to present in 5 minutes their businesses. So they're travel tech startups that are representing their own countries, but in the end, they are representing the travel tech ecosystem, the World Travel Tech Forum. And startups will have 5 minutes to present their projects. I will call their names to join the digital stage. After the startups, travel tech startups, we will have 10 minutes for questions. So please, to our participants, if you have any question, put it on the Q&A button that you have on the menu below, or you can also use the chat box to ask your question. Then we will invite the 5 founders to join the stage, and they will have the chance to answer to your questions. So please ask your questions using the Q&A or the chat box. So let's start by inviting João Rodrigues from Ciango, that comes from Lisbon. João, are you there? Let's learn more about the storytelling virtual tours, Ciango. João?
Yes, I'm here. I'm just changing my name.
Okay, no worries.
I'm here. Okay. Hello,
Ready?
everyone. Yes,
Hey.
I'm ready. Can I share my screen also?
Yeah, I think so. So let me...
Okay. Yes, I can.
Yeah, so 5 minutes, stage is yours, whenever.
Yes, yes. Just start sharing the screen. Okay, everyone. So let me thank you for this opportunity. So I'm João. I'm founder and creator of Ciango. Ciango is a platform we built from the last summer that allows anyone to create storytelling virtual tours, and that definitely will engage your viewers, your audience on your business. So, what is a storytelling virtual tour? Well, a storytelling virtual tour is an immersive content. See it like a promotional video, like the next level of a promotional video, in which you can talk with your audience. You can present your business. You can even sell your products, your services, in almost like a physical experience. So we have all the functionalities of virtual tours, but we give it more strong engagement with storytelling. Also, I like to call this this type of content an interactive sales funnel, because this is like a pre-sales content in which your viewer gets inside the virtual tour and he starts seeing you, talking with them, and then you can interact with their products, with their services, and then you can directly buy inside the virtual tour. So this you can already start buying, start selling in your case, start selling your products and your services. Also, we are building, we are trying to build a platform accessible to everyone. So the content and the creators need to have an accessible platform. So this needs to be a platform that is easy to use for everyone. And we are right now testing this with lots of pilot projects, that with people that don't know, with tourism businesses that don't know how to create content in an immersive way, in virtual reality. They don't know how to program, they don't know how to do 3D, and they are starting to build really awesome storytelling tours with our tool. One example was in the first, on the summer, was tourism, rural tourism on Alentejo. So our use case with them, we gave him the camera, we gave him some instructions to use the software, and he filmed himself talking to the camera and presenting lots of spaces on this rural tourism place. And then he created all of these scenes in which you can navigate and you can see all around you. You can see the experience that he provides. Okay, so for example, This is he is drinking a wine on his planet and explaining where are the places you can go. And you can click on hotspots and see more detailed information. Okay, so this is a guided tour. This is not just a virtual tour; it's a guided tour. And then one of the software which we call CM Cloud Studio is what we use, is what our customers use to create their stories. Okay, so for example, this is our interface. So we can see the videos, we can see all of the scenes. We can organize this in a really simple way. We can interact with our hotspots. We can position this in 3D in an easy way. Okay, with actions in an easy way. So to tell you more about this, for example, we are working with a company with tourism activities company in the north of Portugal, and we didn't explain anything of the software to them, and they started building their tour. They are starting building their tour, and that's really beautiful to see, because it's our software is working. Okay, so this is a proof that our software is working, and people without knowledge is using the software really easily. So yeah, this we provide interactive timelines with different templates for real estate, for tourism, for hotels, for museums. Each of them have different templates and style guides of storytelling. You can also use the power of 3D models to recreate and to explain better how was the past, for example, for a tourism route. How was the past of that city, for example, and you can explain it with 3D models. And then, as I was saying, you can do direct sales. You can present your products, and the people, the viewers, your audience can buy it. Okay, so yeah, this is the product. This is what we are building, and I hope you like it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you very much.
João, congratulations for your presentation. Really cool and interesting solution. If you have any questions to ask to João, let me remind you that after the other 4 presentations, we will call the founders to the digital stage in order for them to answer to your questions. João, obrigado.
Thank you.
In a minute. For those of you who are or who miss travel, how cool is to have the chance today to somehow have a virtual tour, just like João showed us. So we now go from Portugal a little bit up north, and I will invite Ian from Poor, I think he's based in Edinburgh, to present us his traveltech startup, Poor, related to pay technology for hospitality business. Ian. A little bit of wind during the flight. Ian.
Hi there. How's it going?
Hi there. Hello. Are you going to share something with us?
Yes, let me just share my screen here.
Yeah. So whenever you are ready, you may go.
Perfect, thanks. Well, hi everyone. The thing that we used to complain about the most after a night out in the UK was getting skipped at the bar or waiting ages to pay the bill. Apps that let you order and pay from your table should have solved that problem, but now really we just complain about how bad they are. 82% of people in the UK want to order from their table when they're on a night out, but to do so, they have to download a different app or create an account for every place that they go. There are over 22,000 independent bars in the UK alone. Having an app for each would be like having a different app for every single taxi that's on Uber. Now, the hospitality industry in the UK has been fairly slow to adopt technology, especially in independent venues. And that's because software is typically white labeled, which means it carries high entry costs, long development times, and minimum contract terms. independent operators often can't get past these barriers to entry, and so view technology as a hassle. Now, we knew we could get rid of those barriers immediately. And from our research, we also knew that we had to build a system for the staff actually in the venue, not just the people in head office. After talking to lots of them, we knew that we had to give them control to make changes to their menus and their venue profile in real time. And we also had to ensure that our system worked alongside their existing tills and on any device that they already had. Now, the consumer opportunity was easier for us to quantify. Our research showed that people were happy to download an app for a large national brand, somebody like Brewdog, who have venues all over the country. But they didn't want to do that for all 22,000 pubs throughout the UK. So we built an order and pay platform that is accessible to everyone and that simplifies the ordering experience for both customers and businesses. Our mission at POR is to make ordering food and drinks online in any pub, bar, or restaurant anywhere a pleasure for staff and customers, just like Airbnb do with accommodation and Etsy do in independent retail. Customers arrive at the venue, they scan a QR code when they sit at their table, view the menu in their browser, and check out in just 60 seconds. They don't need to waste any time creating an account or downloading anything at all. Venues, on the other hand, join for free, can accept orders in less than an hour after signing up, and they choose to either pay a commission on sales or a low monthly subscription cost. They manage all of their branding, menus, and targeted promotions from their profile, and POR runs alongside any existing till system and works on any laptop, tablet, or smartphone that they already have. Our data insight services help our businesses improve their operational efficiencies, and powerful promotion and upsell features help venues to process more higher value orders per customer visit. And their customers always leave happy because they're never waiting around. I'm Ian, I'm one of the co-founders of POR, and we started our business in July 2019. After months of research and development, we launched in September 2020. Now, unfortunately, the UK has been in lockdown since November last year, which has disrupted our early growth. But we've used lockdown to grow our development team, improve our product, and sign up new cafe, bar, hotel, and restaurant customers across the UK. Businesses here are beginning to reopen, and transactions for us are up about 520% from October 2020. With more certainty about the UK's path in the next 6 months, we're on target to achieve our year one growth targets despite this COVID-19 disruption. Our focus in the future is to continue improving our order and pay experience for staff and for customers, to separate ourselves from competitors and establish POR as the UK's leading order and pay platform. Our focus in the short term is on the UK, where we'll continue to grow and establish our real-time marketing and data insight products to support venues in their mission to gain new customers and to retain them. In the long term, our goal is to grow beyond the UK in clusters. We're launching in Australia later in 2021, and then we'll introduce new territories based on market demand in 2022. Our overall ambition at POR is pretty simple. It's to enable customers to order and pay anywhere. Thanks very much for your time.
Ian, congratulations. You have something you shared something that we really need right now, which is like vision, a plan, and more than ever, motivation. So keep up the good work. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thanks very much.
Let's now travel again south. And after visiting Edinburgh, we will now go to Barcelona, where I expect to have some sunny weather. And Alex will join us to talk about hub building. Alex, hola.
Hello, everyone.
Hola, Alex. ¿Qué tal?
Hola. Good afternoon.
Hello. Will you share your screen with us?
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you want, you can start sharing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Cool. So it's Alex Ridaura from Hub OS. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of the company. So let me explain what we what we did at Hub. So we developed a tool, we developed a system to fulfill the gap that we found regarding the operations on the hotel. So we focused on having one single platform with different solutions connected, because what we found is that it's really difficult for the hotels, for the staff to manage some different tools for every single feature or department. So what we tried from the very beginning is to develop a tool that could be scalable in terms of features and models. So we started 5 years ago with the maintenance model to manage everything regarding the engineering. And right now we have 7 different solutions that are fully integrated. We are also interfaced with the main systems that the hotel has, like the PMS, of course, but also with the BMS, ERP, or any kind of guest app or any kind of solution that they need to integrate with Hub. We have also an open API in order to have these interfaces in a really quick way. Also, another key point of our system is that our app is working also in offline operations. So it means that the staff can work anyway without Wi-Fi. If they have any kind of issue or internet outage, they can continue working. So the productivity is keeping in the same way. So everything is synchronized again when the Wi-Fi is recovered. So we developed the solution thinking in that cycle. So we were also focusing on these 3 main levels: the staff, the owners, and the guest. So we focused some modules on the operations, some of them also in the opening. So prior to the hotel opening or any kind of project or refurbishment, we can also manage. And also we have models for the corporate view and also regarding the management. Here, let me show you the 7 solutions that we have right now. We have the housekeeping model. This is a system to manage everything regarding this department, from the linen to the task allocation to any kind of guest request, and for sure the productivity indicators, what is the more or less the most important thing. Also the maintenance model, that what allows us to manage any kind of maintenance request, but also the engineering, the preventative tasks that we have to do, and also the legal aspects that we have to schedule in the hotel. From that model also we can manage the contracts on the suppliers, getting some details about the expirations and the document manager. Then we have the guest in touch. This is thinking in the guest perspective. They can log any fault or any kind of request with their own devices, just reading the QR code. So from that they can report anything that they need, and this is automatically reported and assigned to the staff accordingly to the rules that we have in the system. Then we have the quality one to manage any kind of complaint or incident that we have on the hotel, improving the guest experience and avoiding the repeated complaints. Also the F&B module to manage bookings and to manage the entrance of the guest to the restaurant outlets. The energy module, what allows us to see some interesting indicators about energy in room nights and this kind of information. And as said before, the engineering and construction one, that allows to manage the snagging list for new openings or any kind of refurbishment. So that's why we evolved our brand. We started just with maintenance. So we were hub buildings. So after all these models that we already developed, so we have a full suite of solutions that it's very flexible and scalable regarding the needs of each client. So now we converted these hub buildings into hub OS. That it means that this is a global operation system for the hotel. Also, we have now in Australia, so we have presence in both Barcelona and Sydney, so we can cover the support and the local contact with our clients around. So let me just give you a few insights about housekeeping, maintenance, and guest in touch. Let me start with the housekeeping. With this module, as said, we can manage everything regarding this department. This is a very critical department for the hotel. it's very important to have everything on place. So we can, with this, we can allocate any kind of task to our staff, so our team, our housekeepers. So they will receive smart notifications when any kind of requests are logged for them. We will see in real time the room status, if they are in progress, if they are clean or inspected. We will see any kind of issue in the system. We can also log the lost and found. So we have everything registered. Very interesting for this module especially is the productivity. So we can also get interesting reports to analyze how it's going. And this is just a few numbers on terms of savings with hotels that we already implemented. Since the day one, we are getting a lot of savings in terms of time and also in terms of money. And for sure, we are improving also the guest experience. Let me share the maintenance. In the same way, we can manage everything from that department. So from the preventative and the legal inspection until the corrective. So the corrective, we can get any kind of request from our guests, from our front desk, for any kind of staff. And also we can get automatically issues from the BMS. So we can just get that the boiler is not working properly. So we can just create that work order for the engineers. Also, we can manage the assets. So we have everything created in the system. We have QR codes for any asset. We can upload documents. So we have everything here in the same platform. Here also some numbers about this, about the savings, about how we are improving that department and the operations in the hotel. The guest in touch, as said, this is the interface from the guest perspective. From their own devices, they can log any kind of request for housekeeping, for maintenance, or even they can manage their bookings to the outlets. And just a few evolution of the project, of the business. So we started, as said, on 5 years ago. So we started with a couple of pilots. So at the second year, we went ahead with 20 hotels. So then 100 more the third year. And now we are over 600 hotels in more than 30 countries. And very important thing to mention is that we have a zero churn. This is really and it's really encouraging for us to keep improving and to keep developing more our solution. And these are some of the trusted clients that we have. We are really proud to work with all of them. So as said, we are always developing and we are always taking their feedback in order to improve our solution more and more and have every one of them really happy with the system and helping them with their operations. And that's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Alex, wow, congratulations on the results. It's really good to see that you like for the last 5 years you had zero churn, which is also motivating. I'm sure that is for you, and of course it needs to be motivating for everyone involved in the travel tech ecosystem. Alex, gracias. Thank you so much, and keep up the good work. It's really interesting to see that with 3 startups already, we have a really small representation of how different is the travel tech ecosystem. We go from storytelling, virtual tours, to pay technology, now to maintenance. It's really, really interesting. Let's now travel to, again, up north to London, to a different type of focus related to travel tech. Ben, that is going to talk about Koala, a travel insurance company. Ben, you are mute. It's normal. Hey, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much. And welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting. And it's great to be here. It's lovely to have seen the vineyards and to be thinking about going out for a drink and then all the hotels. Here I'm presenting for Koala, and I just want to share the screen. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, Ben. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so basically, Koala is traveltech insurance. It's an insurtech company focused on making travel insurance simple. Most of us have traveled around the world. Some of us have had experiences with insurance companies, and I have to say that it's not always a great experience. So Koala's mission is to make insurance simple and fair. And actually, in one of our colleagues actually wants to make travel insurance sexy. So that's really the mission of Koala, and it's really to take out all the friction points in the journey from the moment you leave your home until the moment you come back. We know that pre-COVID in 2019, there were 4.5 billion people who flew, 4.5 billion journeys by air in 2019. And out of those, 500 million people actually experienced delay in their travel. So one of the first products that Koala focused on was on answering that delay scenario and what happens when your flight is disrupted. But of course, as we know, COVID has come and hit. And it's really hit the travel industry and the airline industry quite significantly. In 2020, there were only 1.8 billion journeys that were made by air. So travel is down by 60 to 70%, which is really crippling the industry. So Koala has had to rethink, and we were thinking, what can we do to actually help kickstart and to, with all this uncertainty, is allow customers to regain their confidence to book travel and allow our travel partners to actually generate incremental revenue. So just a little bit about Koala. Koala really is a combination of 3 different expertise. Obviously, as an insurtech company, we have insurance expertise. We work with a number of underwriters around the world, and we're absolutely delighted that just a couple of months ago, we were able to sign a preferred partnership agreement with Swiss Re, which is the largest reinsurance company in the world, which is really great recognition for a startup like Koala. On the middle side is we have travel expertise, and that's where AMG, the AMG Ventures comes in and joining the team and helping giving that travel expertise. Between us, we've had C-level experiences across airlines and travel companies around the world. And the third anchor is the tech expertise. And there we have our in-house team led by Anthony and a really great in-house team, plus supported by the Techstars universe. Koala was actually in a very weird position of doing a fundraising round for seed funding just when COVID hit. And we're really pleased that we were able to close a fundraising round of 2.2 million euros in July 2020, when it was all in severe lockdown. So that really gave us a lot of hope for the future. In terms of our model, we have a B2B2C model. So we partner with travel players, we partner with airlines. We have one airline which is fully integrated and another that are going through integration right now, and 4 that are at contract stage, and a whole host that we're at with different discussions. We work with online travel players as well. We've launched with Ulysse Travel and with Worldia, with Sky Tours, with travel players. And we have a whole number of discussions that we're having with a whole number of players in different countries around the world. What we've seen is there's been a growth in what we call virtual interline platforms. That's when customers are looking to put 2 different flights together and buy it as one package. And there are a number of players in this space that we've actually been working with, and we're really excited about the partnerships that we're building there. And also Koala has been able to get industry recognition within the airline world, and was invited onto, at the end of last year, onto the accelerator IATA. IATA is the industry body representing all the scheduled airlines around the world. And of course, as AMG Group, we bring the airline and travel expertise as well. So between us, we're very excited on our B2B2C model. We have customers that are live already, and we've got a number of different customers that are in discussion stage. So who do we work with? We work with partners across the whole industry. Airlines as a core B2B partner, but we work with travel agents, we work with online travel agents, tour operators, travel tech platforms, seasonal renters, bus and coach operators, and campsites even. In fact, anyone who's in the travel ecosystem. We've also had on other partners who are knocking on the doors, which are train operators, concierge services, hotels, cruise operators. We've even been having discussions with banks and other travel players. So we really are looking at tailor-making our insurance products that really meet the needs of each of our business partners, so that we really make sure that what is important for their end customer and smoothing out the friction points for their end customer. Each of them has slightly different niches, different profiles, and we're very malleable in that respect. So what are our core products? Well, basically, we're here to build innovative, data-driven, and customer-centric insurance products that are tailored to each partner's needs. I mentioned at the beginning that in 2019, out of the 4.5 billion people who traveled, over 500 million people experienced delays. And in Europe alone, that accounted for just around 40 million people. And it cost, knowing regulations where airlines actually have to pay compensation, it actually cost the airlines over 5 billion euros in 2019. So we've come up with a win-win-win product, which is called a flight disruption compensation product, which basically allows customers to buy insurance or for the travel partner to incorporate it into their sales package as included. And it allows for a proactive process. And I'll go through that in a minute. As I mentioned before, more and more people are looking at the cheapest way to get from A to B. And certainly with the reduction that we have in the volume of flights that are unfortunately operating at the moment at only 30 to 40% of normal capacity, it means that getting from A to B isn't always as simple as it used to be. And putting two different flight tickets together means that whilst you can get from A to B, you may not actually make it. And because you're using two separate tickets, if your first flight comes in delayed and you miss your second flight, you're actually on your own, because the second airline doesn't treat you as someone that's through checking. So we've come up with a misconnection compensation product, and we're very excited about that, not only working with the virtual interline platform providers, but also we're looking at working multimodal. And that means going from plane to train, or from car to plane, from chauffeur drive. So that's a really exciting product that's evolving. And also I mentioned that because of COVID and people hesitating to actually book travel, because who knows what's going to happen next week. I mean, today we hear that, a few days ago, India was put on the red list. Today we hear that the United Kingdom has been put on the United States' red list. So it's a moving target. What we've created for Koala is for customers to be able to book, is to give them the opportunity to change their mind. So book now for your summer holidays, book now for your winter holidays. And if you choose that you don't want to travel anymore because you're scared, because you've changed your mind, we give a refund. And that's something that Koala manages. So it allows people to book with the confidence to know that they can get their money back. It won't be 100% refund, but depending on which partner we work with, it's around 70 or 80% refund. Everything that we do is automated, and we use technology. We can also work with travel partners that when they have one of our innovative products, and they ask us to source as a one-stop shop for all their travel needs, and we're very happy to do that. And we make sure that we include COVID-19 as part of the cover. So we're really here with up to the minute of what's important for the industry. Just an explanation of how we work. With our travel partner, we discuss being part of their booking flow. So the customer chooses the Koala insurance. Either it's integrated into the package on their travel agent or airline, or it's an ancillary. The customer purchases it during their flight purchase, travel purchase, or train purchase. We get the information through an API, and then what we do is we're tracking all the flights in real time. We get data feeds to track worldwide flights 24/7. So we know if a customer's flight is delayed, and if the delay trigger is 2 hours or 3 hours, depending on which partner we work with, we will automatically send a message to the customer when the flight has arrived with a delay, and we say, very sorry for your delay, you're actually eligible for compensation. And it's all an automated process. It's proactive, and you do it on your mobile phone. So this is an example of what happens when a customer purchases. The confirmation is very simple language. The explanation is in very simple language, and how you would go about getting a claim is in very simple language. And the claim process is the easiest claim process you could go through. You receive a message from Koala, you click on the hot link, it takes you to a landing page, you enter your email address and your booking reference number. We behind the scenes check your eligibility. You confirm that you actually boarded the flight or the train. You then enter your bank details, and literally instantly, within 24 hours, the compensation is paid into your account. And we can work on this both as native Koala brand, we can do it as co-branded with our travel partner, and some partners want us to do it as a white label product, which we're very happy to do as well. So basically our whole process is we want to make it as easy as possible for our travel partner. So we plug into their internet booking engine or their reservation system, and we don't charge for the integration costs on our side. We love working with APIs, but we will work with other integration and lower tech versions of connecting with partners. And we try and make the process as simple as possible. We basically have 7 phases to go live with a partner. We discuss with each travel partner their particular needs, who their travel market is, what are the friction points, what kind of insurance is interesting for them. Is it delay? Is it cancellation? Is it connections? Is it all sorts of things? We then define the product. We come back with some commercial principles. We then agree what they are, and then we go ahead and build the product with the underwriters and the reinsurance partners. We develop the integration plan. We plug into the booking funnel. We then plan the go live date and the communication around that together with our partner. And then we work very closely with our partner on tracking progress, monitoring uptake, monitoring the ratios, and working to improve all the time. We've seen uptake rates, because insurance actually is very much more present on travelers' agenda at the moment, that we've seen uptake rates that are really quite out of the ordinary of normal ancillary products. So we're very, very excited about that. We take our B2B relationships very, very seriously, as well as our B2B2C relationships, because we want to make insurance simple, fair, and transparent. The whole process of going live with Koala can take anywhere from 14 days from first contact to actually going live. Our fastest was actually in 2 weeks, and it can take up to 14 weeks. Normally, it's what happens on our partner side, the approval process or the resource requirement on their side, but we're very, very adaptable. And like I said, we tailor make each insurance product for our partners' needs, and we're always looking at innovative solutions. So I mentioned multimodal. We've had other ideas, discussions with our partners that we're very excited to develop. So that basically is an introduction to making Koala as an insurtech company sexy. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben, for your presentation. I'm sure that everyone now is ready to use Koala. And according to your presentation, yes, you do travel insurance simple, in a very simple way. Thank you so much again for your presentation. Let me just give you one last reminder that you can use the Q&A option or chat to ask questions to our founders. We now go to the last startup presentation of this event. We started in Portugal, Edinburgh, Barcelona, London, and now we go all the way to Jerusalem. And I invite Rafael from Majordomo to present, to talk a little bit more about. Hello, Rafael.
Hi.
How are you today?
Hi. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right.
Are you going to share the screen?
Yeah, sure. Let's start.
Good. So let me just, after Rafael's presentation, we will invite all founders to the stage in order just to ask a few questions. So be ready. Rafael, the stage is yours.
Excellent. Okay, so first of all, thanks a lot for having us here. It's exciting. I wish I could actually physically be in Portugal, but with our spirits, we are here with you guys. So, oh, sorry, I'm in the end of the presentation. All right, so let's start and just dive right in. So welcome to the backyard of the hospitality world. Basically, what we're talking is about what happens in hotels and restaurants behind the scenes. In the front, we've got a lot of advanced technology, and things are working pretty well there with a lot of UI tools and a lot of advanced software. But when you go to the back, it's still very much manual, surprisingly manual. And the result of that is lack of control. If you stop an inventory manager and just like ask him on the spot, does he know his real-time inventory? The answer is no. And the result of that is a lot of waste. Not only waste of food, fresh food that was not used, or too much food that was purchased, or not enough food, but also a lot of hours, employee hours, especially in the inventory department, because surprisingly, everything is still manual. There's a lot of typing to do. There's a lot of paperwork to do. And even if we do use advanced inventory management software, we still need time to actually put all that data into our systems. And that is done manually. And this is why we came out with the Majordomo solution. So basically, what we do is we have IoT weights, smart weights that are installed into all the different containers and shelves in the kitchen storage. And these are actually surprisingly not expensive units, and they generate and can send all the information, measure and identify and register any change in quantity in real time. The way it's built, and it is basically we have, for example, here we have a container, a plastic container. Inside that container, we have our smart unit, a waterproof, very strong, very well built unit that transfers all the time, real-time data of what's going on with the items inside. Then it goes to the cloud, and basically the user can see now what's going on in his storage in every minute. In addition, we're connected to the hotel ERP system, the point of sale systems, and we get, as a result, all kinds of very interesting data and very useful data. For example, we can compare what we ordered through the ERP system and what we actually have. We can compare what is happening in the point of sale and what do we actually have in the warehouse. We're basically finally giving inventory, giving the items a voice, so we know what's actually going on behind the scenes. So the main features that we have in this system, of course, is the inventory status and alerts, but also, as I mentioned before, the automated transfer registration between departments. There's a lot of work, a lot of time wasted on that, and that's something that we solve. We can also create lists when items are finished, and we can automatically send them to order lists, and we can track freshness basically based on predefined information that we put in our database. And obviously we also have a lot of data which we can now use for predictions and for analysis based on different patterns that happen in the hotel, about quantities, about specific days, specific events, etc. So if we look at the American market, for example, but this could be true to most Western markets, first of all, hotels especially, they spend a lot of money in purchasing different services from other businesses. So for example, in the States, we're talking about $100 billion of purchases and over $100 billion of income in food and beverage, which basically means that we're spending about $25 billion in food cost. We believe that we can save about 30% of that cost to hotels and to businesses, which means about $7.7 billion in general. And if we want to be realistic and look just at a specific business, if we look at little boutique Jerusalem hotel, that means that we can save about $85,000 annually for that small hotel. And of course, it would be a lot more if we go to big hotels. So I won't go into all the depth of the competition, but basically what I want to show here is that there's a rise in IoT technologies and smart products, and Amazon are working on their Amazon Go system. The Israeli company Trax is very much advanced in this field, but all these technologies are very much focused on retail. And this is exactly what makes us special. It's our team that really does understand the hospitality business. So two of the people in our team, both Michael Avniel, our CEO, and Riyad Liel, our VP Biz Dev, come from the industry. Michael is a former restaurant manager, dealt a lot with inventory, and Riyad is the general manager of the YMCA Three Arches Hotel in Jerusalem. By the way, a very nice hotel that you should all join when this pandemic is over and visit. And we have Tal, who has a big and rich experience in both in coding and in embedded systems. So we believe that that's a very unique combination in the business, where we actually have people that understand and talk the hotel, the hospitality business. In terms of how we're progressing, so we were supported by different accelerators in Israel, but we used this Corona period of time to kind of build a team and establish connections with hotel managers, especially in Jerusalem. And our plan for the coming year, with actually the hotels that are opening up here in Israel, to start running a pilot, at least with one hotel in the beginning, and start getting real data. We're working on our samples right now. Our prototypes are being designed and produced, and we hope that in the next few months, we'll be able to run a proper pilot. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Rafael, thank you so much. Your solution, and before saying this, all the founders from the other 4 projects will now be invited to join the stage, since we have at least 2 questions to ask. So while the other founders join us, your solution, it's a really good example, really interesting example of when founders think there might be no solutions or no more solutions than like a tour app, or I don't know, an operator, a booking system. And now you show that, yes, there are lots of problems to be solved within the tourism hospitality sector. So we have Ben, Alex, João, Rafael, and Ian. So we have already a question to ask to Rafael, a question from Javi Garcia. So the question is, hi Rafael, your solution looks pretty awesome, kind of those super advanced Amazon supermarkets in the US. Could you please give us a reference of pricing? 1, 2, do you operate out of Israel?
Oh, okay, so first of all, thanks for the excellent question. So in terms of estimated pricing, we believe that a unit like that should cost about $3 to $4. We actually have pricing of all the maintenance and of everything that is included in having the system installed. And we believe that besides basically in terms of the ROI, it's very far. The ROI, it's very far from the investment that you have for that specific unit. Like what we basically need to understand is that these technologies do exist already, and actually the smart thing here is really kind of fitting it into that hospitality world and getting it right. And that's also a physical challenge, because it's a rough world out there, right? You saw the pictures in the backyard, right? In the storage area. And it's also the data, and using that data correctly, and giving the right user experience so we can actually solve problems quickly and solve a lot of work and time. In terms of working outside, so we are in touch actually with the Lausanne school to get some advice, and we have a mentor there. We are naturally working in Jerusalem because Jerusalem, first of all, is a very serious hotel hub, and there's lots of different hotels that we can work with. But we are open and happy to discuss pilots elsewhere. I mean, naturally, it's just easier here because we're Jerusalem based, but it's a big world out there, and it's pretty global, as we know.
Okay, so I have a question. Well, you don't need all to answer to this question. And since we need then to move to the panel that we will have after your incredible presentations, I kindly ask you just to give us like a brief answer to the one that will pick the question. So this is something that then can help our guests on the panel. When you reach out to investors, okay, what are the main challenges you face when you either trying to reach out to them, on when you're trying to present your business to investors? What's the main challenges you face? If you want, you can of course give us a personal experience, but please just try to be give us a very brief answer if someone wants to pick this question. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. No one will listen.
Let me just
Go ahead.
I will be very brief. The challenge I face all the time is having the right metrics.
Okay, so having the right metrics. Okay, so that's something that you personally feel, or that's a feedback that you get from investors?
I feel, and it's more like I feel, because I feel like if I have more metrics, more clear metrics, and more clear metrics, I think the investors would be more convinced.
Okay. Does anyone wants to add something to the answer from João? Ian?
Yeah, for me, I would just say it's about getting in touch with the right people is the hardest thing. You know, being able to get some warm intros is one of the easiest ways to do that. But obviously, if this is your first startup or the first startup that's looking to raise finance, you don't have that network yourself. So trying to establish that is quite difficult. So I would say that's been the biggest challenge for ourselves. Once you get in the room, it's, you know, you're just talking about your business. You're talking about what you've built and what you're building towards. So it's getting that first introductory meeting that's the hardest thing for me.
Okay, so you would say that getting in touch with the right person.
Exactly, the right person or the right group of people.
Ben, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say there's also an element of if you're pre-revenue or still very early stage revenue, it's also a question of the track record of your team, as Ian mentioned. So that's where being part of an ecosystem and having people join your board and getting more, shall we say, gravitas to give investors a bit more confidence, so that you have people from the industry. So with Koala, we very much focused on the three areas that we needed the expertise: the tech, the travel industry, and the insurance industry. And we looked at all of that. So from AMG's perspective, we provided that travel industry knowledge and expertise. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we kind of builds on, then each one then builds on each other.
Yeah, so for that's interesting. So for the investors to feel that for this startup, this is the right team to build and to make this idea grow. Any of you did like reach out to an investor during this pandemic? If yes, how was it? If no, forget it. Crickets. Okay, good. Okay, so there's one more question in the chat, but I believe that, and this is a question also for Rafael. Okay, so the question is, what is the business model, how many hotels do you need to reach the return of investment. But I think that since it's very specific, if you want, Rafael, I invite you to just to write down the answer directly to Koshavit. I hope that I'm pronounced the name
Sure.
in the correct way, since we now need to move to the panel. Rafael, João, Alex, Ben, Ian, you are the best. Best of luck. Keep up the good work, and thank you so much for presenting your startups. Okay, we are together on this. Thank you. We started with the startup presentation, one of the players that are part of the ecosystem. And since the topic of this event is funding startups, funding travel tech startups, we will now have the chance to listen to some investors in a panel with the topic, how can startups get the confidence from investors back? In a panel that is going to be moderated by Roberto Antunes from Nest, the Portuguese Tourism Innovation Center. Roberto, hi.
Hi, Francisco.
Nice to see
Hello.
you. Ready?
Nice to see you too. Yes, absolutely. All right. So it's my turn. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for this invitation. Wow, what a surprising, nice afternoon, having heard all of these five great examples and making us travel a little bit around the world as well. That was very, very pleasing. My name is Roberto Antunes. I'm the Executive Director of Nest Tourism Innovation Center. Apologies, my connection is a bit unstable, so fingers crossed. So if anything goes wrong, just improvise. I'm sure that the panel knows exactly what this audience is looking forward to hear. But let's hope that it goes fine. Well, here together with me, just to do a short presentation, I have Isabel Neves. She's the Vice President of the FNABA, which is Federação Nacional de Business Angels, so the National Federation of the Business Angels. She just got absent. I hope that she comes back quickly. So hi, Isabel. We also have Miguel Barbosa, Investment Director, Tourism Business Unit at Portugal Ventures. Hola, Miguel. Together, you're on mute. So I'll put how many times, and then if we reach 5, I'll say bingo. Okay, so that's one already. You're on mute. If you want, it makes it easier to be on mute, because it's going to be a conversation between all of us. Also, Miguel Martin. Well, I hope that Miguel, you can help me out on the pronunciation. Miguel, he's the High Commissioner in Spain for the World Business Angels Investment Forum. So once again, an investor from Business Angels here representing. Hi, Miguel.
Hi, Roberto. Nice to be here.
Thank you very much. And
can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. I also see we have Marta Miralles within the group. Hello, Marta. Not sure that you're meant to be one of the panelists. If you are, just say yes.
No, Roberto, thank you.
No, just listening. Yes, all right.
Well,
so
hello everyone, because now I'm active.
All right, thank you, Isabel.
Unmute.
I actually have made a presentation of yours, so I presented yourself, but glad that you're now unmuted, so everyone knows already who you are. So let's take profit from these 3 great knowledges on funding to get relevant information for this panel, for the group which is listening to us. So I will just pose for all of you first question. Well, that's the most obvious one, as tourism is one of the industries, if not the one which has suffered most with the pandemics. I would infer that the amount of deals and investment dropped on travel tech startups. I would like for you, each one of you, to tell us if that is right, if it really dropped, if it is actually a result of overall less investment in startups, or it is a case of shifting between industries and sectors, if that case, if it happened actually, and if in this case the travel tech could potentially be impacted negatively, or if I am absolutely wrong, and even though we are in a pandemic period and we're talking about tourism, the investments actually went up. I really don't know. So I would like you guys to give clarity on this, please. So let me start with asking Isabel, your point of view.
Okay. Well, first of all, nice to meet you again. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you. I apologize. First of all, I want to apologize because English is not my my strong point, but I will try to explain me and to make me understand. Okay, so
perfect.
Well, I'm not a business angel with many investments in the tourism sector, so I have no. My personal experience is not the best to talk about it. However, I participate in lots of meetings and lots of pitches all over the country, and that made by some accelerating projects, and I had the possibility to assist to a lot of creativity and innovation in this sector. So pandemics, as other kind of crises, are always an opportunity to increase the innovation, the creativity, and lots of new ideas, disruptive projects appear. So in this way, I had the possibility to assist to lots of, for instance, in Algarve last October, I assist some pitches, very interesting, and in this sector, and the people have new ideas and a new way to see what can be the future of the tourism. Okay, so it's a very interesting period to assist to this kind of innovation disruptive projects, and I think there are lots of business angels looking for new opportunities and looking for disruptive projects that can be and they can raise money. Okay,
right.
So I think I made me even my bad English. I think
No.
you can understand what I mean.
It was perfect, very clear. Everybody understood. We will come back to the point that you're raising. I think it's very interesting. Just curious to know, as a business angel, did you kept the overall investments at the same level of previous year, or did you reduce the investment or increased?
We reduce a little bit the investment, but we are very busy to look for new opportunities. So yeah, we are looking for new opportunities. What it means to do? What the pandemics change the future? How can we see the new ideas? which will be the new behaviors. So we are in a period that we must see the new trends, the new behaviors, and to understand which will be the best opportunities to invest.
Very clear, Isabel. I think it's the point is not linear on investing more or less. There's actually as well the other side on the creativity and the new opportunities that in downturn moments and cycles of economy can be great opportunities. So we know that, for example, from 2007 until 2010, great companies that are now, on the tops of level of money wise, let's say, they were born in downturn cycles on economy, like Uber, WhatsApp, Groupon, Pinterest, etc. So it's not actually linear, and I totally agree that that even though there is pandemics, there is an absolute reduction because investors are also looking for the good opportunities. I wonder, Miguel, Martin, do you agree as a business angel as well, now shifting from one business angel to another one? Mm-hmm. Have you increased your investments, less? Are you paying attention of what's going on out and about, what's hot? So you put money behind? How's it going?
Okay, well, first of all, it's very nice to be here with you. A pleasure, and hopefully will be the first of many. Basically, I think that talking about your question, I think that the numbers of investments in general has been reduced, but also depends if you are considering business angels or venture capital. I think venture capitals or funds or other kind of investments, and they don't invest their own money, but they have raised money that they have to invest. They are in, we can say, some kind of obligation for how to say, investing that that money that they have that have been deposited by the by the third-party investors. In our case, we are investing our money, so we are very cautious about how to say deciding if it is the right moment or not. That is a point that I think that is interesting to question, to explain to everybody. The second point is that, as you say, I think that there is a clear switch between different technologies and especially sectors. There is a winner and losers from the COVID pandemic times. You have increasing investment in everything that is related to health or remote work, and some other maybe verticals. Then obviously has the world is changing, and there is new trends coming from the pandemic. Travel tech in general is not one of the most, how to say, attractive sectors right now to be invested in. But for me in particular, I have some travel tech companies in my portfolio. I had been contributing to some media reports about how the travel tech startups are performing in the last year. Surprisingly, even for me, they are performing much better than I thought. So I think that there is like a big difference between if you are talking like offline industry, so the we can say the tourism and travel industry itself, and the technology side and the digitalization side of the industry. That is, I think the pandemic has speed up the process of digitalization, and for a startup has not been so traumatic like for the traditional tourism, travel, and hospitality business. So these are 2 points. Personally, I had put almost all my investment in standby. I have been more taking care of the investment that I have already in my portfolio, helping them to surf this new and strange situation. But we have made a couple of investments in the last year. And hopefully we will start to recover the normal, how to say, investment speed, in my opinion, after the summer.
Right. Well, very good point. I actually kind of observed in the market that there was huge efforts in some, let's say, subsectors or areas of tourism, that they took now the opportunity actually to become more digital. So in fact, it has also accelerated both the generation or the growth of, for example, more tech-oriented startups. So you can see the success as well in a couple of them, in many of technologies such as chatbots, amongst others, so the payments, etc. Even in tourism and those related businesses, they actually grew. So I think it's you capture very well, Miguel, this point that I think, to me, the more the companies are now putting efforts on digitizing, in a way forced, yes, but it's actually being shown by the market that those are the ones who are, let's say, better coping up with the times and better prepared for the return. And this can be an opportunity for startups. Miguel Barbosa, hola. Now to get a bit more of a venture capital, as it was previously mentioned, you gather a lot of money that you have to turn into profit and to make it even bigger, and promoting those these kinds of companies actually to grow. How hard it was in this during this period? Did you actually manage to keep up with the same level of investments, increased? Did you find good opportunities for investments?
Well, thank you for having me here and Portugal Ventures. At Portugal Ventures, we managed to maintain the same level of investment in euros wise in 2020 as in 2019. Obviously, everybody in the travel sector, even when you're talking about technology, was affected, because even if you work in technology, your clients probably were closed at least some months of the year. And the clients of your clients that generate revenue for the hotels, for example, or the travel agencies didn't travel, so those businesses had less money to invest. But in the end, at Portugal Ventures, we managed to invest more or less the same amount as we did in 2019. Obviously, it was a rough year. Nobody was, when we invested in the startups in 2019, nobody built a business plan thinking that 2020 had a pandemic coming. And the first 2 months of 2020 were fantastic, in general in the startups that we have invested. And then in March, everything closed. So it was a rough year. What our startups did, obviously adapting their human resource and their costs to extend runway, obviously, was to focus on their main targets, commercial targets. Also continue to develop their technology so that they're to improve it into the clients that they're aiming, and sometimes with our help, trying to establish new commercial partnerships. And as it has been said, the tourism sector is very traditional, and working with and having startups entering a chain, hotel chain or travel agencies is a struggle, and it's a continuous struggle. So we managed to help them sometimes enter into those partnerships, as well as keeping them funded, so that they can overcome these 2 years or 18 months. We still don't know how, when recovery will come, so that they can be ready to and up and running in the market when it opens again, and hopefully soon.
Very good, very good. Good to know that there was support given. So this introduction and facilitating the connection within the ecosystem between companies and startups. It actually functions on pandemic or any time.
It's a big part of our work.
Yes. I believe that you all, the three of you, have done efforts in order to to keep the things warm. Isabel, a question to you. You've mentioned the creativity, so I guess that's one of the things that you are looking for. What else are you looking for in this current in the present? What else are you looking for in those ideas and startups?
We are always looking for innovation, innovation, and new ideas and new projects that can give response to the new order, new behaviors, as I told you before. So we are always looking for good opportunities. In this sector, in the tourism sector, it's not easy. It's not easy to make tourism without tourists. So it's not easy. However, I could exist some people that change a little bit the projects, the first ideas they have to become more stronger in order to have new and more effective projects in the future, in the near future. We believe that that the things will be, we will overcome this situation, this crisis, and I hope next year we will have tourists again, and in that moment we will have a much more projects and much more stronger projects, because people that worked in this area learned a lot with this crisis, with this pandemic crisis, and they know that they must change lots of things, and I think that they need to have some support from us investors in order to prepare themselves much more and give better responses, better projects, better results to their own projects in the near future, when we will have tourists again.
Very good, Isabel. Miguel, Martin, is this, as from the words, speaking the words from Isabel, the outlook can be positive as well if you look out for solving the biggest problems. And now, especially in tourism, we are facing, let's say, it's a dramatic moment. How can startups be, how can they become more closer and take this period as an advantage, let's say, to become much more the opportunity makers, the problem solvers, to become much more closer, to try to turn around what Miguel Barbosa mentioned before, a bit of conservatism in the industry, and definitely one of the critical things that these idea makers and startups, what they mention is the connection with corporations. What can we do now, given that the industry is suffering, to actually to reduce the gap? Actually, if for you it's an opportunity.
Of the tourism, I think that at least from my experience, the startups are not suffering so much as the traditional industry. I have companies in startups in travel tech that doubled the income in last year, even if the hotels were, how to say, which are much lower level of operations. I think that all the industry that already was one of the industry that has been, how to say, going through a stronger digitalization in the last decade. from booking, air tourism. So the 300 form or has been heavily impacted for technology in the last 10 years. Obviously, the situation is not easy for anyone, but I want to give a positive messages for the startups. I think that I know quite a few number of startups and they are doing pretty well. Obviously, if the market start to recover, I think that they will be doing even better. And that is, I think, is important to highlight. Regarding the corporate innovation and how a startup could, can build synergies with corporates. Personally, I am currently involved with designing and launching a new entrepreneurship and innovation program with Le Roche, the high school, and the hotel management school in, especially here in the center that they have in Spain. And there is other, hospitality, tourism, travel corporates, and they are also already launched different innovation initiatives, like from challenges to startup contest or a startup accelerator. I think the United Nations World Tourist Organization is doing quite a good, a large number of initiatives for from rural to other kind of sustainability and other kind of segment that they are trying to promote, and I think that is also important. And so I think that obviously we need the industry to recover as soon as possible. But from the technology point of view, I think that the future is brighter than maybe the industry, the traditional industry itself.
All right. Good. Thank you for this positive outlook. Miguel Barbosa, you mentioned a while ago that you tried to make these worlds closer, the corporates and the startups. Are there any other types of answers prepared by Portugal Ventures to help the startups throughout the pandemic?
Oh yes, we had in 2020, and we'll have also in 2021. We had both of our two calls of the programs that we used to invest, both Call Fit and Call Tourism, both in the tourism sector. We had in the Call Tourism that we closed by the end of January, we received 59 different projects to invest, obviously, and also Portugal Ventures as a whole launched a new call, which was called InnovID, for projects in a TRL, technology readiness level, much younger than we usually invest. But that's a different sector of Portugal Ventures. In the tourism area, we maintained our investment programs, and we continue to support the companies that we have in our portfolio, either with money or with connections, and also working with them on the boards and trying to give them the knowledge that we have of the market and what others are doing in the market, and in order for them to overcome this crisis. And as Miguel Martin also said, I'm positive on the sector, and I do believe that they will recover. The sector will recover. I'm not sure when, but the sector will recover, and we'll see more technology coming to the tourism area when they recover. Tourism as a whole has been coming out of the 10 most innovative companies that are usually selected in the world. We used to have 4 over there. It has been down to 3 and 2. So tourism has not been as innovative in the most recent years as other industries. But I do believe that, as also Miguel said, the digitalization that has been almost mandatory in this period has also left the big corporations into introducing new technologies into their operations, either through startups or through their own IT teams, as we've seen, for example, Gonçalo from Vila Galé saying the various forums that he has been.
All right, all right. Picking on what you mentioned, and also Miguel, your homonymous Miguel mentioned a couple of technologies related to health, to remote work. Can you guys give some examples of successful examples or things or ideas that you feel that they are going on the right direction, that they can turn into a success in the short term? Maybe Miguel Barbosa, if you can carry on.
Okay, I can give you one of the companies in our portfolio that fostered during this period, which was HiGifi or HiGifi. They do chatbots for hotels. They have a fantastic automatic response rate above 70%, and during they managed to double their MRR, monthly recurring revenue, on the company, and they've been quite successful about it. So it's one of those companies that we are quite keen about it. Also, Luggit, which is the Uber for bags that in our B2C world business model, has also been developed some fantastic partnerships directly with the hotels and the Airbnb apartments, and I do believe they will, when we have again tourists traveling in towns, they will foster quite well in those times, hopefully very near.
Miguel, Martin, anything that capture your attention?
Yeah, I think there is two big trends, and maybe there is too many companies, how to say, rising up in that particular field, but obviously there will be some big winners in the short or medium term. One is everything related in the how to say, in the frontier between travel, tourism, and health. For example, there is plenty of startups trying to build like a passport, mobile ID for how to say, keeping track of vaccination and other kind of how to say, COVID-related things, so they can use it for the airports and traveling abroad. And there is I know a couple of startups, and they are doing quite well in that particular field. One is the World Travel ID that has been supported by the World Travel World Tourist Organization, and the other is HiCard. Both of them, they have some difference, but they are trying to solve the same challenge and problem with that kind of mobile ID solution for like health passport, and obviously trying to build some services on top of that basic how to say, important solution. The second trend that I see quite clear is everything that is related to contactless or touchless. So everything and then avoid in physical contact, physical touch of or interaction with machines. Everything that can be done with even simple technologies that maybe was a little bit old-fashioned a few years ago, like QR or something like that, that has been how to say, have like a second gen age. And one of the companies I have invested, they doubled the investment just transforming the, how to say, the way that the client interact in the hotel experience using that, how to say, QR or other, how to say, contactless technology interaction with the clients. So there is that two cases in particular. I think that at least during the short medium term period, and we are going to have during this pandemic and post-pandemic times, we can say I think that there is a good opportunity for startups to go through.
You're absolutely right. So the QR code was actually disappearing and now got a second chance. Isabel, anything that you found successful or a great example, successful example in this industry?
As I told you before, it's not my strong area, so I'm not very. I don't know many projects, so many startups in this area. However, I know that I try to remember the name, but I cannot remember in this moment a name of a startup, Portuguese startup in this touristic area that have own a prize some months ago or some time ago. I will try to remember the name of this startup, but I can't do it right now.
All right.
What I can say is even with all these problems and even this pandemic crisis, we still have some fantastic projects and some fantastic startups. They continue, they maintain, and they are in continuous evolution. So it's very good.
Fantastic.
Sorry, Roberto.
Yes,
if anyone is interested to know a few samples of startups and they are doing well in the last year in the travel tech sector, it's in Spanish, but you can go to Business Insider Spain, and you can Google 14 startups doing well in travel tech in the 2020, and you will have 14 cases of startups in the travel tech ecosystem in Spain that have increased income and get fundraising during the pandemic times.
All right. That's very interesting. So it would be cool to share somewhere in the.
Okay, I can get the link and I can drop it on the chat.
Fantastic! If you could do that, it would be really cool. There's one question just for any of you to pick up, or whichever feels like picking it up, which is within the travel tech investments and since the onset of COVID-19, which subsectors will be most favored? So if there's, let's say, a trend and specific areas that become more interesting for the future, I think it's also interesting conversation for us to kind of project the future. Maybe Miguel, Portugal Ventures.
Well, I think the other Miguel Martins mentioned it quite correctly. Sectors related with health are definitely something that people are more aware of. Also relating with contactless technology, because people nowadays don't want to have so much contact with each other. We see that, for example, at Home IT, our access company that uses wireless technology to access spaces like Airbnb partners or lockers or union rooms, you can use it. And we see that even during the pandemic, they didn't drop their sales as much as the rest of the world in tourism. So I would say that those areas, and also the ones that are able to capture what is still in the sector, which is offline, and bring it back to the online, to the digital ones. So something related with tourism activities also, which is a sector which is still roughly around 80% offline. But it's very difficult to bring it to the online because it's usually very small companies, sometimes a one-man show or woman company. Those that are able to capture that and bring it also to the online, I believe, are the ones that will have a more brighter future.
Fantastic. Thank you, Miguel. Well, one last question, a really quick one for all of you to answer. It's a bit provocative. I thought of something provocative to finish. You've heard 5 pitches, 5 great ideas to my belief. You don't need to say which, but let us know that if there's any, at least one that you would think of investing in. You think there's potential to be invested. And just one word or one thought on how to face the future. Give them a tip, an idea of something you strongly believe to get them keep on going. So maybe we start with Isabel.
Well, I'm a very positive and very optimistic person, so I believe in a good future, and we will have a very good and a very good future for all of us. The only thing, the key is to learn to live in a new world. So if we learn to live in a new world, we will be everybody will be very well and very optimistic. So about the projects, about the trends, or my favorite trend in this moment to invest. You want to know?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the very interesting areas, as Miguel Barbosa told before, is health. Of course, health is very important, but in this moment, my attention and my investments could be in the other area. Mental issues are very interesting for me, but special all the technologies that help people working with at the distance. Okay, with distance. Okay, people that are working separated, the teams that are separated, the teams that are working apart. So this is a very interesting area to invest in this moment for me, of course.
All right. Just you didn't answer, but you don't need to say which, but if there was at least one of the 5, I wonder if you heard the pitch of these 5 startups which presented. Was there at least one that you would consider investing?
For me, I'm sorry, but I didn't listen the pitches.
Oh, okay, it was a shame because that was really great 5 ideas.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Isabel. Miguel Martin.
I think that they are maybe in a later stage than I normally invested, but if I have the possibility, I really like Koala and I really like Majordomo. Mm-hmm. I know very well immersive technology, so I think that if I think that I can see the largest market potential for Koala and Majordomo. I think that maybe they are the most innovative, and there's plenty of payment solutions that I have been seeing in the last few years. I'm not saying that obviously the winner or the startup that will be able to position himself like the leading payment solution in the hospitality and travel tech has a huge potential, but there is a very tough segment to be. And immersive technologies, the problem that I have even an immersive VR lab myself and a training academy for virtual reality here in Spain. And the problem is that the virtual reality is not growing as fast as expected in the last few years. And because you need a headset and there is not yet, a big percentage of consumers with virtual reality headsets in their hands. So Koala and Majordomo will be maybe for me the most interesting ones. And there is a couple of things that I want to say just in case that we don't have the opportunity later. First is that I invite everyone to check Entrepreneurship World Cup that I am representing in Spain. It's the largest startup competition in the world. and they will be competing with more than 200 countries and a price of $1 million in price. So everyone that want to get further information, they can go to entrepreneurshipworldcup.com or just contact me in LinkedIn. And the second one, anyone that is interested to know more about the entrepreneurship program from Le Roche also can contact me in LinkedIn. I will be happy to provide them with the information. I think that initiative like Le Roche that is transforming their school hotel also in a testing lab for new travel tech and hospitality technologies and using the alumni of Le Roche as a commercial channel for startup that has been validated in the Le Roche facilities are maybe one of the most interesting initiatives that I have seen in the last years.
Very good. Thank you, Miguel. For your knowledge, in Portugal, we also have exactly the same, let's say, idea. It happens in a place called Setúbal, which is owned by one of the schools of tourism in Portugal. And we, as Nest, we are the ones who are running, let's say, the hotel and opening it up for startups to, you know, run their pilots and do it in a real life mode.
So we can maybe explore some collaborations. Like
absolutely. So when you said on the LinkedIn, I said, yes, I've written here, we will reach and talk about it. Fantastic. Miguel Barbosa, would you invest in at least one of those 5 presented?
I would go with Miguel and select Koala. I really like the approach that they have from the consumer side, looking at the pains that the consumer has and how to overcome them and present them with a service in this kind, in this area. So it's not a solution looking for a problem. It's the other way around. So they look into the problem that the consumer has and try to present a problem there. So in the end, I would go with Koala. Majordomo is also interesting, but I'd like to see some pilots before, because I do believe they do have a pain there. I'm not sure it can be easily overcome in that area, but I'd like to see more numbers, KPIs.
So guys, you already have some insights of what investors would look for in your pitches. I hope that was useful. I think we've done it. Thank you very much for this panel. It was very, very interesting to speak to you. Learned a lot, very inspiring. I hope that our audience feels the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much also.
All right, see you.
Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you.
So that's it for today. Of course, taking into account the decisions as a result of the provocative question from Roberto. Koala Majordomo could be celebrating in this case a potential investment, but in the end, let's celebrate more the fact that the travel ecosystem got together today here to talk about challenges, opportunities, solutions. We had a chance to listen to 5 incredible, inspiring startups. We will look forward to listen more about the milestones that we are sure that you will achieve. A small reminder that the video from this event will be then soon will be shared on Startup Lisboa's YouTube channel. So keep an eye on it. That's it. Thank you, Roberto, for the moderation. Miguel, Isabel, Miguel Martin, Miguel Barbosa. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. And I'm sure that we will see each other in the future. Keep strong, stay safe. Thank you so much.